Facebook doesn't want to seem to let me be great. So, but the replays, you'll get them, and the replays will be, and all of the handouts and everything else. It's just going to be great. So, I'm super excited about that and all that is going on here today. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll have a break about 105, just for about 5 minutes. Hey, Karen. Hello, everybody. I'm not going to start naming names because then I'll start getting in trouble with other people. But welcome, 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 everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Each one of our speakers is going to have about 20 minutes. If you want to do 15 and ask questions, you can. But at the 1:30 point, which will be the end of Vanessa's time, we will have opportunity for a full panel. So you can ask any of our speakers a question, business, life, all of that good stuff. So we're going to have the opportunity for you to do that at the last 30 minutes. So hold on to your questions and all that good stuff. Write them down. And so I'm just super excited for everyone that's here. So let's go ahead and get started. Miss Monica Ambersley, I've been trying to practice to make sure that I had that name pronounced correctly. Am I correct? Okay, wait.
Obviously, you're
There,
correct. It's
Ambersley.
a bit of a mouthful,
I
but yeah,
understand. No, 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 no,
yeah.
no problem. Royston is a British name, and then my maiden name was Forey, so I'm good to go. So I want Monica's going to be up first. She is going to take us in, start us off. I want her to introduce herself, and I'm going to mute the other panelists, but we'll still be here. Um, um, Still be here during your presentation. Go right ahead.
Thank you, Julia, for introducing me on this virtual summit. I am so blessed to be here. Hi, Jenny and everyone. Um, what I'm going to be talking about is from my book. Let me introduce myself, sorry. My name is Monica Ambersley. I'm under the name of Abundance of Faith. I wrote a book sometime 2018 named From Pain to Joy, a book that I hold dear to my heart. It, when you read this, it's about my journey from where rejection came from, and I will just tell you a little bit about the book and my life journey. At the age of 18, I was abandoned in terms of going out into the big wild world at the age of 18, 17 and a half, 18 years old, out of my parents' home. And I grew up in church, and I was a bit sheltered because in those days we were from homeschool church back home again, and I didn't know nothing about the world. So when I was asked to leave for a number of reasons, um, I was out there abandoned, didn't feel loved. I was rejected, especially from my parents. And I grew up in adult as an adult with rejection. And it's quite important to talk about rejection because this is what affects us as we go into in adulthood. And as I went through life, I realized that part of my journey was affected by my relationships with other people, my own relationship with myself and people that was connected with myself. And then because of my rejection and abandonment, it reflected on my children, which I didn't realize that did happen. So one of the reasons why I would like to talk more about rejection and forgiveness and because it's quite linked to it, that rejection affects all of us, and it doesn't matter how you get over it, you're going to still go through rejection, but it's how you deal with it and how you cope with it that really does really matter. And during my lifetime, I find that it was hard to reflect with other people. I didn't trust anyone, and that's what rejection does. You don't trust anyone. You always see people from a different angle because you feel that you just get suspicious of other people. in the time that I could have taken, say counselling, which I didn't take because it was like a what would I say? It was a Tibet quote to say that you can't actually could I say? You can't actually go for counselling because people would actually look at you as not well. But I think it's quite important that when we are going through rejection and abandonment from an early age to get counselling help, because what happened, it erodes the mind, and it you lose confidence in yourself, and you're always thinking that you're not belonging in a group or a circle. You're always having to find somewhere to fit in because of the rejection. And sometimes when we are with anger, we feel anger, bitterness, it's because of that rejection. And sometimes it could be social rejection that we suffer from, the community, our family, our friends, our workplace. But it's how we cope with it that really is the stepping stone. Yeah. So in order for us to know how to cope with it, I believe that you have to know who you are. Knowing who you are makes the difference. When you don't know who you are, you will take on the whole world. You will see things in a different perspective, but not knowing who you are. In order to figure out who you are, you've got to know your own values, who you think you are as a human being, and to have a thick skin. Um, when you will always be offended with other people because of the rejection in your life. As I said before, that rejection you can't get away from. You'll always have it, regardless of it. But it's how we deal with it that really matters. So when I wrote this book, I wrote the book with the intention for my healing. And it healed me in a way that I saw life a lot different from what I saw when I was 18 years old, because of my mind that was eroded with the fear, the rejection, the abandonment. Plus, I was very, very angry at some stages in my life. And I was able, at the end of it, to forgive my parents and forgive others that really hurt me, because rejection is a part of hurt as well. And when I wrote the book, it took me 40 days, because as we read the Bible, for those who believe in the Bible, that it took Jesus 40 days for him to fulfill what God planned. So I myself took 40 days to write my book, and it was through tears and healing that I actually wrote it from the place of pain. And I'm so glad that I was given this opportunity to write it, my first book, which I think will help other people to know who they are, and that they will know that they're not alone, because I thought I was alone. I really did. I really thought I was alone. I was the only one that was going through this thing. And at first I didn't think that I loved me. I didn't love me for a long, long time, for years. And I didn't know that I didn't know how to love. I thought till when my children said, Mom, so I said, yes, I do, but I realized I didn't really till when I wrote my book. I love me now, because what it did, it opened what was inside of me, the inner being of me, knowing who Monica was, made that difference. And writing that book has really helped me, because they always say there is a book inside of you, regardless of it. So we have to deal with rejection, and it's really important. As I said, it comes from anger, anxiety, depression, jealousy, as well as self-esteem, that as well, because it can bring down self-esteem. And loving yourself and spending time with yourself is what really matters, and finding who you are. What do I value? That I see that no, you feel really good that I found myself through that. I wasn't always like this. I was really unconfident, and Jenny will tell you that how unconfident I was. I was really unconfident. I didn't even know who I was until I found out who Monica was. And I was able to um, forgive and reconcile with those who had hurt me in the past. And I love everyone. I don't hold on to bitterness anymore because, as I said, it could erode your heart. It can give you a lot of health issue as well. So I was able to live that and become who God planned for me. Yeah, so
Awesome. Awesome. That is just fantastic because I really believe, and you're right, Monica, you can't really move on to the next level of who you were designed to be, who you were supposed to be until you begin to love yourself and find yourself and determine that until, and you know, a lot of times people who have been through a lot of trauma and a lot of rejection and a lot of hurt, they find that they can't move forward. They do have jobs, they do provide for their families, they go through the routines of life, but actually finding your purpose and living that abundant life that God intended for us all to have is hard to do. And some things we have to do, look at that, this is a mirror, but look at the woman or the man in the mirror to be able to say, I've got to confront this. I've got to face this. So let me ask you, Monica. So I'm gonna put on my host hat and ask you. So did you actually? I know you said it took you 40 days to write the book. Did you ask, notify your family ahead of time that you were going to be writing the book, or was it a actual confrontation that happened? So what happened to actually start this? I think she's okay.
book.
Okay, yeah. Start one more time.
Started the book it's probably 20, 30 years ago, but I
Okay.
kept on stopping and starting and stopping. When I decided to write it, uh, I didn't confront my family. I didn't tell them nothing about it because I didn't want that to stop me from writing it. Because at one stage, when I did say to them about 20, 30 years, when I was in my early 30s, that I was going to write a book, they got a bit scared, thinking that I was going to put things in it. But after I wrote it, I think they did get a bit frightened. They got a bit afraid that I might have mention name, but there's no name mentioned. The only thing that was mentioned was between me and my parents, that I mentioned. So yeah, so I didn't confront him, but you know, it's all good. I think I could have put more into it, but then I didn't want to upset anyone.
Well,
Sorry.
Chastity asked in the group when you first wrote it. So you began writing it 20 or 30 years ago, but when did you actually finish? Is how long ago did you complete the book? Y'all, yeah. Because
Yeah,
remember,
I
go
started
ahead.
it some years, different journals
And, and then when did you
of
finish?
with little journals of books.
Okay.
When I actually started the book was I started in a full around September. So from no, hold on a second. May 2018, and it took from 14 days to write the book, the manual, the actual
Right,
manuscript.
from your journal.
But it was
Okay.
every day. Yeah, constantly doing
Take
6,000
note of this,
words. I
writer.
was
People
consistent.
every day, right? Every day, every day. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to come out of my writing coaching hat. Every day, a little every day. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, Monica. Go ahead.
So I started it for from 600 words per 600 words every day, and then it was increased. So I was doing like at some point about 6,000 words every day. And what I did, I put a tracker on myself to track myself to know how much I wanted to reach, like 30,000 words. I was tracking it every day, and up to the end of the 40 days, my manuscript was completed.
Yay! And all the writing coaches said, yay! And all the publishers said, yay! I am super excited and congratulations. Okay, so tell us the title of the book again. From Pain to Joy.
Joy.
From Pain to
And
Joy.
Amazon, Amazon.uk or Amazon.com, and other, I think, other American bookshop.
Right,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So it is available from Pain to Joy. I trust that you were, and it's Monica Ambersley. That's Ambersley. You're going to get all the the replays and everything are going to be sent to you. So you just have your debit card and credit card ready to buy her book when we send out the link. So are there any other? Hold on, in the chat. Who's in the chat? Questions? 600 words a day, Karen. That was 600 words, not 6,000 a word. 600 a day. Anyone else have any questions? That is just phenomenal and awesome. Now, one of the things that speaks to me is that we need to, some of those things we need to confront. We need to face it. You know, it's that uh, the therapists tell us we can't defeat it. Yeah, it's a great goal, Karen. You can't defeat it unless you're willing to face it. You can't move forward. I mean, the other things that we have to share, sometimes we have to start with the thing that's the hardest. And I find even with helping people write their stories, that's one of the major issues um, that come about is that people are unwilling to actually face it. So I have a question in the chat from Ms. Tillman. She says, after finally, this is to you, Monica, after finally completing your book, was it therapeutic for you? And were people upset with you for writing the book?
Me was my healing, so it did really help me. And while writing that book, I was going through a process, a healing process. So you could imagine 40 days of writing the book, I was getting my 40 days of healing. So I was able to just let go, actually let go of all the negative things that were happening in my life, let go of soul ties that was holding me down. And another thing that I realized that, but while I was doing this, I was getting my healing plus the healing of the people that were actually that really hurt me. So my family um, with me after they actually looked in it and thought that it didn't mention any names or whatever, but they were
They're like, shh, okay.
yeah, I think they were quite worried because it's a very deep book, and I think it could go on a bit more, but because I wanted to just soften it a little
Yeah,
bit,
get it out there.
yeah, because yeah, so I wanted to get it out there. So yeah,
So,
but they were quite pleased.
yeah, because and that's a wonderful thing because I always caution people who are writing their personal stories. You leave revenge to God. Your thing is about therapy. It's about healing. It's about helping someone else as well as helping yourself recover and move forward. Anyone else have a question for Monica? Because we're right on the time where I want us to be, and so anyone else have any questions? Because I know a lot of people say, I want to write my story, but and it was painful and it was hurtful and it was all that. But I'm sorry, sweetie, you're eventually going to have to, I can't tell the story for you. I mean, you can pay a ghostwriter to do it, but you still have to go through the process because it's like anything else. When you break your arm, they have to break it and get it back in alignment, and you cannot, you have to go through that. Ouch. So Karen asks, how was your personal relationships during writing? Did it hurt or enhance them? Did you see them in a totally different light, or were you angry at them all over again?
I saw them in a different light. I saw that because the book was really about my mother. So I saw my mother differently because I realized that what how she grew up is probably how she only did what she knew. And coming from a Caribbean family, they'd done a lot. They did things differently from England. Used to that because I'm British, Mum. I'm not Caribbean. So anyway, so as I was writing the book, I realised as a parent myself, I understand where she was going, but I didn't understand why I had to be out there and out on my own, because if it wasn't for the grace of God, I don't know where I would have been today. But it's only because there was a seed that was planted in within me from going to church that I was able to stay focused and grounded. Um, I saw my mum in a different light. I've forgiven her. She even cried when I showed her the book. She said, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that you was going through that. This is very important. Why we stay in our heart, the actually getting on their life." She said, "Oh, I didn't realize he was feeling that way." So it tells me that when you hold on to these things, people are getting on with their life because they don't realize that you was going through that journey. So yeah,
Right.
so we're on a different relationship now, where I was holding on to a lot of things
That
now
is
with her. So
awesome.
yeah,
That is awesome. You're right. Vanessa says communication is so important, which it really is. And if you're from a different culture and you're in a different culture, and that's almost a culture clash, and a lot of that is the way they were taught. That just you just continue to pass it down, which is phenomenal, which is awesome to be able to come to an impasse. And hopefully that book did that and spurred that communication and turned a whole relationship. That's what I want books to do, especially those of the life stories. I don't know, Vanessa uh, would hopefully agree that we want those types of books, especially to heal someone else. I want somebody else to be delivered. I want somebody else to not have to face that and understand that. But I also want healing and wholeness to be and recovery to be brought to a family. Thank you so much, Monica, for sharing your story and helping us, and hopefully those in the Zoom room and those on YouTube to realize, okay, that's that thing, that thing you have hidden under the bed, and that thing you have in the back of your mind and you don't want to realize it. And sometimes those things just as a sidebar, some of those things are hindering you from moving forward, to having relationships you want, to having the positions and jobs and businesses and the life that God intended for you to have. That one thing, if we don't face it, that one thing could be stopping us. So thank you so much, Monica. So in your notes, in your computer or whatever, you may want to write that down. What is that one thing? So my question, my takeaway to you is there one thing, is that that's carrying over from childhood that you brought into adulthood, that's hindering you and stopping you from moving forward to that abundant life you were designed to have? All right, I'm gonna shut up. I am super excited. Thank you so much again, Monica. You're gonna receive the handouts or contact information, where to find her, where to follow her, or where to purchase her book. So don't worry, just sit right there. Just get your debit card and credit card work ready. So I am super excited. We started this journey 2 years ago. My As I say, we were in a community together. We're sisters together. Vanessa was in that same community. We were and Patricia Way, one more thing. Monica says you exude joy. So that is wonderful. Woo, we thank God for that. All right. So next up is Miss Jenny Allen. My sister, all of y'all, my sisters across the pond, and she's going to take it away, introduce herself, and give us what God has given her.
Yeah. Hi, Julia, and thank you. Hi to everyone on this platform. It's really, really exciting for me to be here. As Julia said, you should have been in London, but we couldn't make it. But next time, and this is the next best option. So let me just introduce myself. First of all, thank you, Monica. That was really awesome what you shared. It's so refreshing to hear that again. So thank you. My name is Jenny Allen, and I'm a life coach and a mentor, London-based life coach and mentor. I've been in primary school education for about 24 years now. I have a degree in business management and a postgraduate diploma in school business management. And I've done a lot of voluntary work with the homeless, domestic violence victims, victims of sexual assault. I've done a lot of voluntary work with these types of groups in London. And I did a year's voluntary work with women who, for one reason or another, lived a life of prostitution. And that particular voluntary work that I did, it was a real eye-opener for me. And my goal and my drive is to build the confidence and self-esteem of women. Now, let me just give you a little bit about me. Believe it or not, I have a stutter and I stutter, but when I live stream or I communicate with people, I've learned how to rearrange my words so that I can communicate. And the stutter brought me into a very difficult place when I was younger. I was very shy, I was introverted, my self-esteem and confidence was very low. And it brought me into a very difficult place in terms of education. I was scared to read out loud. I'm also a trained nurse. So when I was in the class at that time, I was the only Black person in the class. And there was about 20 of us. So we had tutors that used to pick on me because I was the only Black person in the class, and that made my stutter even worse. So I grew up with very, very severe self-esteem issues. But moving along, I was determined to not allow my stutter to get the best of me, because I really wanted to showcase and put out there what God had deposited in me. And I wasn't going to allow a stutter to hinder me from doing that. And it was Danielle Willingham on Periscope, when Periscope first started, and Julie was there as well, that really began, she really challenged the dream and the vision that I had inside of me. And it was actually Danielle that sparked that in me, and I got addicted to listening to all her, all her scopes. I did so many of her classes, so many of her workshops. I did loads of them because there was something in me that I actually forgot about, that was deposited in me about 24, 25 years ago that I actually forgot about. And it was that stirring that allowed me to actually go live and do live stream. And, to think about it, somebody with a stutter going live stream, how does that work? But I was determined not to allow it to hinder me. And because of that, I did training as a life coach. I love books. I am a book addict. I've got Audible, I've got the whole thing. And I love books. And I re-educated myself about how I could impact people while working on me at the same time. And I did the life coach training. I did mentor. I've got people to mentor me. And it's now come to the point where currently I'm mentoring a politician here in the UK. So that whole journey has really taken me now to be able to mentor somebody who's in politics here in London. And I wanted to also put together workshops to be able to challenge women with questions about, what they have down inside of them. Because one thing I realized was that when you have children or you have a family or you're married, we tend to bury our gift in order to support other people, especially as women. We bury our gift, we keep it in our heart, and what we do, we take our time and we propel other people into their visions, we help others, and then we end up leaving our vision alone, we don't touch it. But my dream is to take that vision that you have inside of you, ask you questions, and help you on the road to make that dream, that vision, a reality. And that's what I did with me. It was a hard slog, let me tell you. Even when I had my first workshop, and then Julia challenged me about, oh, you know, let's do a conference in London. I didn't tell Julia this, but I was petrified. I was absolutely petrified. But I knew that God was talking to me about that. And then Julia contacted me and we've been planning it for 2 years. But I was petrified because I keep thinking, what about my speech? How am I going to stand up in front of all these people? How am I going to do this? Because my speech, my this, my that. But I took it one step at a time, one step at a time. When I'm nervous and doing different things, it will come out. But I'm determined not to allow it to affect me. And I did my first workshop, I think it was last year, August, then I did another one in November. And then I planned another one, but obviously we had to cancel it because of this COVID-19 thing. So I decided to take it online. And I am going to push myself forward. I'm doing it frightened anyway. I'm going to feel the fear and do it anyway. I'm going to push myself forward and do it. And that's what I want my workshops to do. No matter how you're feeling, no matter how small you think your vision is, you see. And the other thing, we think, what can I say to people? How can I impact somebody? You'll be surprised. Monica wrote her book and it has impacted a lot of people. The thing that we think that won't impact people, it will impact people. So I want to help you to take that vision and make it a reality and move yourself forward with it. That's really, really important. So that's what I've got for you. And actually, let me just finish by saying that I wanted to just share the acronym AIM, A-I-M, AIM. A is for ambition, I is to inspire, and M is to motivate. And that is what Heart of Refuge is all about. A, I want to know what your ambitions are. What are they? It doesn't matter how small it is or how crazy you might think it may be. What is your ambition? And then I is to inspire. How I want to inspire you to make that thing a reality. Because it does, I mean, people would think now, I mean, who would have thought that we can operate our whole life through a phone? How can we have a four-way call plus people, participants listening and watching, plus it's being streamed on YouTube? Who would have thought that could have happened by something that's about 8 inches long by 4 inches? Who would have thought? That idea would have been crazy. So no matter how crazy you think your idea is, it's doable. You just need the encouragement and the inspiration to do it. And the last one, M, is to motivate. I want to be able to motivate you to be the best that you can be. We're all on this journey together. I've still got lots of things that I need to work on in me. I'm by no means perfect. I've still got a lot to do. None of us are perfect. But if we join hands, we can take that step one step at a time, one day at a time. And if me as a stutterer can do it, sit here and live stream, then whatever you have in your heart, don't let any obstacle that you might be experiencing hinder you from moving forward. Okay, so I hand back to Julia.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, so they're allowing you opportunity to ask questions. We've got I've got at least 7 minutes, and I want any questions that you have for Jenny. I guess my first question is, um, I had a speech impediment as well, so I understand that process. Mine was S's. My as you can tell, when I say S, I make sure my teeth are together and my tongue is behind my teeth.
Okay.
I learned that at 6 years old, and if I get sleepy and tired, I'll still, it may slide out, but otherwise, I mean, what do you, besides the professional speech therapist, what else do you think is key? Because it may be speech impediment for you and me. It may be just the fear of the audience for other people. It just may
Yeah.
be, it may be other things for other people. But what is it? What is it that thing that sparked you? It may not work for everyone, but what was the thing that moved you?
Well, two things that moved me. First thing was, as I said, I love books, and I read a lot of books. I read a lot of biographies about people who came from nowhere and they were able to accomplish their goals. So I was a reader of people who were seen as, not able to achieve. So I read a lot of books of biographies. I read a lot of confidence books. And the second thing was, I went through an experience about 23 years ago where my back was against the wall. And I said, no, it's either do or die. I'm going to come out fighting. And that was the situation that pushed me forward. It was like, do or die. So we all have something that will back us into a corner and we have to come out fighting. And this particular situation was it for me. It was do or die. And I came out of the boxing. As soon as the bell went, I came out fighting.
Oh, come on through, Muhammad Ali. Come on through. You know, we the home of the greatest. So, come on through, come out fighting. That's right. Come out fighting. Now, two things. Yeah. So, do you ever talk about your stuttering issue? You have when you presented today. But Karen asked, have you ever, two things she asked, have you ever led a presentation, which you did today, talking about stuttering, but also, have you ever thought about writing a children's book about it? Ooh. Especially children of color. Especially with children of color, because that's usually an issue. And then Karen says, my sister grew up stuttering and at time will do so. Do you believe many stutter more as a result of trauma?
I think, yeah. I think, but you see, the thing is there again is my mum stuttered, my dad stuttered, my grandfather stuttered, my two brothers stutter, my son stuttered, but he grew out of it. So there's something coming down the line. You could say, I think, yeah, it could be traumatic and then it's just handed down. So, but with it, I've done other presentations with my stuttering. I mean, I've been invited to different things to present, and I go there, and my preparation really is, I really pray before I do any kind of presentation. Today, for example, I went for a 3-mile walk to prepare my mind. I went in the park and I really went and I prepared myself for today so that I was settled in what I was going to present. And that's what I tend to do. If I'm asked to speak on a platform, then that's what I do. I tend to go away somewhere, have quiet time. I tend to go outside by river, got a river near where I live, and I just quieten myself and prepare my mind so that when I go to speak, I'm relaxed. Right. So I have those kind of preparations.
You have your mechanism. Yeah, you have your mechanism.
I do.
I think everybody has to have that. I mean, when I first started speaking on platforms, not here recently, but when I was 8, 9, I closed my eyes and held the mic. But you can't do that at 56 years old. Stand there, hold the mic, and it doesn't work like that. But over time, you've got to develop your own. And when I started speaking, you got to develop your own what works for you. It's that one movie, Clear the Mechanism, and there was the Clear the Noise the baseball player had. And so when I first started speaking, I would sing first because I was more comfortable singing, and that helped calm me down. So I would sing the song. I didn't care if it was just a verse and a chorus. That calmed me down. Now, some people they wouldn't be able to sing anything, but whatever works for you. So any other questions? Yes, Moses in the Bible had a speech impediment. And he said, I can't speak. And he said, send me with Aaron and then I'll go. But God said, you're the one. So I believe
with that. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
When God gave me the vision for Heart of Refuge, I said, I can't do that because he gave me the vision about 25 years ago. And he actually gave me the character of Moses, told me to go off and study Moses. And I went and did, I did that. So God doesn't take any excuses.
No.
About what we see as a negative. God doesn't take any excuses. So Moses is actually one of my role models, as it were, in terms of doing what God has called me to do. And to follow on from that, I have got an online workshop next Saturday, which I will be presenting. That's my first online workshop. And I've got different things that I'll be doing there. That's going to be a 2-hour workshop. So, but all the information about that is on my website where you can register, and it's at a discounted rate.
Yay!
Because of the lockdown. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I will
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question I have for the group, you know, I'm sorry, I'm a teacher, so we're gonna be taking notes. All right. So the question I have, yes, Moses did, and God used him greatly. But the question that I have for you is just like, do you have that one thing that is hindering you? But do you know that there's something that God has for you to do, and you're putting up an excuse? Because I'm getting ready to shift gears in just a second. But I want you to write that down. What is he calling you to do? And that you've made some excuse. You might have had some things happen in your past and your childhood and your upbringing and all of that. Like Monica said, but she finally had to come to terms with it so that she could live her best life and live. Because looking at her, all well done, gold jewelry, beautiful, ta-da! She's gorgeous, you know, author now, you know, speaking and all of that. You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that. So those things that we have in our childhood to overcome, we've got to continue to move forward because he's calling us. So Jenny's now told us he's calling us to do something. He's calling us to do something in spite of our own vision of our own limitations, our own vision of, oh, I can't do that. Oh, you know, Lord, like you had to remind him, like Moses had to tell him he had a stuttering problem. Like he had to notify him, excuse me, by the way, did you know I stutter? Excuse me, do you know? Really? Do you know? Like he doesn't know already. He created you. He knows already. So what is that one thing that's hindering you? What's that question that you have that you think, oh no, I should do that. I use excuse. And you know, just one thing before I move on is that the enemy will continue to bring it up to you over and over again, even if somebody else doesn't. He'll keep reminding you of that thing. Well, you know, you have, you know. And so therefore it's to stop you, slow you down from what I'm getting ready to talk about. It's your gift. It's the thing. And Jenny already hinted at it. And I love how God works. I love how God works. It's your gift. It's that thing that even if you don't see your gift, God sees your gift and the enemy sees your gift too as well. So any more questions for Jenny before I take over and we keep moving forward? Questions, comments, put them in the chat. Jenny will see them later because I'm going to send everything to them so everybody can respond. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So, and let me look at YouTube real quick. I love this, haven't it? So Pastor Sharon and YouTube says, she loves it, feel the fear and push forward. Let's go. Okay. So let me share my screen. So your gift plus your passion equals your purpose. Your gift plus your passion and sometimes your call equals your purpose. So the gift is, a man's gift maketh room for him and bringeth him before great men. Proverbs 18:16 says. And some people, and I know I'm one, who've been willing to just give my gift away. But I realize the gift that God has put down inside of me, and he's put a gift inside of each one of you not just me, but he's put a gift inside of each and every one of us. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God. First off, if we honor him in everything we do, in everything that he's given us, for it is he that giveth the power to get wealth. Those are my two things that I want you to think about and um, also muse about and meditate on that your gift is making room for you. But if you won't utilize your gift, if you won't acknowledge your gift, the room will go for somebody else. Okay. But your a man's gift is making room for you and bringing him before great men. But if you let the things that hindered you as a child, you let the things that your excuses and all of that hinder you, the room will be made, but you got to be sure and step up to the plate because God is beautiful. He's wonderful. He's awesome in that his gifts and callings come without repentance, and he's not taking it back. So he's just going to sit there. Remember, he's eternal. He's waiting on you. And he ties that gift and ties that with your passion and his power and your gift. There's purpose. And of course, Vanessa Collins is going to tell us how to profit from it. But he has given us power to get wealth. So, what is your gift? What is that thing that's down inside of you that you would do even if you weren't paid for it? It's better, of course, if your opportunity to get compensated from it. But some people's gifts, they don't care about it. They get compensated somewhere else. So that gift may be an offering. It may be an opportunity. But my father always says, always have something that you can charge. And then this unstable financial environment, that gift may be the thing that God is getting ready to use to profit and save your whole life, your whole house, and your whole family. So we've got to discover what that gift is, develop it. The gift, even though it comes to you without repentance, God gave it to you, you still have to develop it. Even though we've talked about Moses and his stuttering, he still had to speak them. God gave him the words to say, tell him I am, and he gave him the idea and what he needed to do and the plan and the path, but he still had to develop it. He still had to activate it. And then you still have to display it. You still have to discover what that gift is, and then you have to develop it, and then you have to display it. So with passion, once you discover what that gift is, with passion, it may require an investment. Now, I know when you say investment, the first thing you say, how much is it, Julia? How much is it going to cost me? How much is it going to be? Sometimes it's just the investment of you deciding enough is enough. I am going to stop making excuses. I am going to stop saying I can't. I'm going to stop. That's the first investment of counting up the costs, as the Bible says, and deciding enough is enough. I'm sick of my ends not being met. I'm sick of I'm not having enough money for my bills. I am sick of not applying for that promotion on the job, even though we're in the virtual space. Uh, um, Business and commerce is still going on. I'm sick of seeing somebody else do the gift that God called me to do. I am ready to invest. I'm ready to say enough is enough. I stop here. The buck stops here. The buck stops today. And the Empowered to SOAR conference, the encouragement. Yep, I identify with some of those things that Monica and Jenny have gone through. I'm using this as an excuse, but the buck stops here today. So I'm going to invest my energy. First off, even if it doesn't cost you anything, you still have to invest yourself into saying, I'm all in. So some of you may have to write down, are you all in? Are you ready to move forward? Or are you going to forever use whatever, your past, your family, what somebody said, what somebody did as an excuse to hinder you from living your best life? So that, and next thing is develop it. You may have to find out some information. You may have to do some research. You may have to get some training. You may have to join a coaching program. You may need to get some education, even if it's, as Vanessa says all the time, asking Uncle Google. If you need to take a YouTube, a webinar, or whatever to get you started, to move you forward. Get the information, then get your pennies and your coins together. Like Danielle used to tell us all the time, get them together to be ready to make the financial investment. The first thing, you got to be all in. You got to be able to say, okay, I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to do this thing. I sometimes you don't see yourself as others see you. I think that's a part of the thing that I know Jenny does in mentoring, and I know Vanessa does in coaching, and I do. I strive to um, bring out of people what I see, and sometimes I see more than they see, and they're like, "Oh well, I don't know," and they back up. But all in, because I believe that the passion and the purpose, God will give us the provision for it. He will allow us to connect with people that we need to make sure that we're living our best life. Yeah, I have a podcast, Live Your Best Life, shameless plug, but I really believe that. That's the reason why I titled it, because I want to live my best life, but I don't just want to live it for me. I want you to live your best life. So your gift, figure out what that is. That gift, that thing you've been hiding. It's under the bed. It's in a folder. Somebody prophesied, but you ignored it. You didn't move forward. Remember, prophecy is for confirmation. It's designed to bring you awareness, alertness. It should not be something out of left field that you haven't found out and discovered in prayer and fasting and seeking God. So whatever that thing is, that call, that thing, he says, I want to use that. I want to use that not only for my kingdom, but it's going to prosper you as well. And then the passion, the willing to be invested. I'm all in. I'm ready to put forth my 100% effort. I think that's a part of what this time is for this pandemic, is for you to sit down and focus, and the drive to say, all right, Lord, what do you want me to do? What do you want have me to do? It's an opportunity for me to rest and reevaluate and discover and then recover, and then say, what's the path? What's the plan? Where do you want me to go? Where do you want me to be? And what do you want me to do? And then be all in. Purpose is a path. It's not necessarily just a destination. You move on to purpose. So you're activating your gifts. You're moving forward. Yep, you fall on the ground. Yep, that didn't work quite like, oh, I was scared. I was nervous. But it's a pursuit. It's something that you onward continue. Faith to faith, step by step, precept on precept. At the path, it is a journey. It's not, God's eternal, so he's not in no rush. So it's a step by step process. It's something that you have to do. It's something that you finally say, enough is enough. I am tired of being, I am sick of being. So it's a journey. And I wish, there was just so ting overnight it would happen, but it's not. It's going to be ongoing. So I'm hoping and prayerful today that today you say, all right, enough is enough. I need the help with, I need to move forward with, I need to do this. And it's going to be sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes scary, but figure out enough is enough. Today is the day. I'm tired of hiding my gift. The gift that he gave me and the thing he's told me he wants me to do, I'm tired of going at it half-heartedly and not with the full passion that he's giving me. And then in the end, I always say I want to die empty. I want to not have unrealized purpose fulfilled. I want to live that abundant life that he gave me. I want to pour out and do everything he's told me to do. And some things he might not have told me to do, he just inspired to do. I want to try it. Even as it doesn't work the first time, I'm going to get back on that horse and continue to do it. So I always know when we are looking at gifts, kind of downplaying gifts. And I'm just sometimes I feel like, well, I don't know. Nobody's never bought 1,000 of them, so I just put it away, and I never did do it again. And the book only sold 5, so well, that's 5 people that didn't have it before. And then in my spare time, they just kind of downplay it. But realize the gifts that you've been given, first off, came from God. So it's his divine purpose and will that you have it. And then realize it's a journey. And then realize too, you have to tell somebody about it. Like I tell authors with promoting their books, if people don't know you have one, they don't know you have that what you can do. So if you don't speak, if you don't find a platform or given an opportunity, and you continue to say no to the thing that God has given you. Now, I don't believe in trying to kick doors in when it's not your gift and you're just copying somebody else's path, and you're copying something you're envious of, and you just want what somebody else's somebody else has. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that's your call. That's your gift. That's that thing that keeps you up in the middle of the night. That's that thing that wakes you up early in the morning. That's that thing that you do when you love what you do. And nobody does it quite like you do it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about looking somebody else and I made 7 figures and ooh, I need to do that too. No. Look at yourself. It's time for evaluation. Determine what your gift is. Determine where you're passionate. Determine where your purpose is. Ask God and run after it. So just in case, I'm going to put it out here in business networking. You put out what you need, and hopefully we're here to help you. And I'm going to stop in a second. So I need lesson writers. I need editors. I need proofreaders. I need content editors. If you're an illustrator, graphic artist, if you refer people to me, that's what the book business needs. So just in case, I just wanted to put it out there. So if you ever thought about, if you ever thought about, oh, well, one time I thought, put it on out there. Just, you just never know. You don't know until you ask. So this is the activity. So write down one thing that is not related to your job. It could be related to your job. Your gift could be related to your job. But write down one thing. Write down one thing that you do in your spare time. And then write down that one thing that sometimes you just do for fun. Oh, I just crochet. Do you know how many people online are being benefited and people are purchasing the things that they have online? Oh, I just do that for fun. Oh, right. The gift is inside of you. The gift plus purpose and passion equals purpose. And one day it will bring you before great men, and you will continue to have that power to get wealth. I'm Julia Royston, BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the author community, the Book Business Bosses, helping you get your message to the masses. Turn your words into wealth. Be a book business boss. Questions. You can proofread? Good. Hit me up. Talkwithroyston.com. Let's have a conversation. Yay! Questions for me. It said, what's her website address? Is that Jenny's website address? Whose website address? Cheryl. Yeah, Karen, you're right. Some people. Cheryl, tell me whose website address are you looking for so we can give it to you. All the website addresses will be in the replay and the handout for you. So any other questions for me, Jenny, Monica? Send you my manuscript. Awesome. BK Royston Publishing at gmail.com. Look forward to receiving it. Questions. The one with the stutter, that's Jenny Allen. Her Jenny Allen's website is heartofrefuge.org, right, Jenny? Yes? Yes, okay. I love what your father said about, do you think we should look outside the box no matter what era we are in and charge for something? Yeah, well, Karen, I think, you charge for something. First off, charge for something that you do well. That's number one. Charge also for something that you really kind of have a reputation. It's a natural, they always call on you. So as far as finding your gift or knowing what your natural gift is, a lot of times you're already doing it. And just like, okay, so you do a lot of different things, domestic violence or whatever. but you like to plan events and like to do event planning. So people have said, well, Karen, I'm having a party. I don't know nothing about that. Boom, there you are. And so, but it's something that you already can do and you do well. And people recognize it and acknowledge it, then, you know, and if they say, can you do it for me? What do you charge? And that's usually, well, and that's where the deer in the headlights come. You know, like, oh, I don't know. Well, get a fee, get one in your head. Okay. I normally, you know, if it's something that you're going to do in your spare time, I encourage you to do something that you love, something that you enjoy, something that not only you're good at, but that you enjoy doing. And if you do it well and you don't enjoy it, I don't consider that a passion. You know, I just do it well because they pay me, you know, because your attitude will definitely, um, it'll tell and show through. Oh, okay. We'll do. We'll do. Yes. Thank you so much. Book Business Bosses are in the building. Yay! Or in the Zoom room. Yay! That's Miss Cheryl Hill. How you doing? All right. Any other questions for me? Okay. Thank you. Just keep me in mind when you're done. Where do you start when start thinking about writing a book? Is there a template or back? Well, you know what? Will this take place next year? We're hoping we're gonna be in London next year. So first off, let me just put in the group. I have classes and I also have a store with courses already. So that's one place to start. And then I have classes as well. So I'm gonna put that in the chat in the group already because I can just feel we could turn this into a writer's workshop if we wanted to. But I wanted to give you that to start. And then last thing, if we need to have a conversation about your book, talkwithroyston.com. All right. So those are kind of that's for everybody that'll get you started. You want to go to London? Yay! Well, we all wanted to go. Oh, hey Tracy, how are you? All right, so I'm gonna take so let me get it from the people in the Zoom rooms. Shall we take a 5 minute break or keep moving? Keep moving. Tell me. Put in the chat. I'm gonna do it based on y'all. Are y'all jumping up and going to the bathroom anyway, and you good to go? And we turn it over to Vanessa. 5 minute break. Okay. Miss Monette said five. Keep moving. Karen says, okay, that's just two. Keep moving. 3, 5 minutes. Okay, that's 2 and 2. 5 minutes. Monica says 5 minutes. Keep moving. Oh Lord, we got a tie. I don't want to miss anything. Okay, you don't want to miss anything. Okay. So I tell you what, can you get back in 3 minutes? Okay. Yes. Okay. So let's do 5 minute break right here. I'll pause the everything. It is 1:09. We'll be back at 1:14. 5 minutes. All right. Yay! 5 minute break. And we'll be back with Miss Vanessa Collins. Woo, 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 woo. Then you have your PowerPoint, yes? Okay. Yeah. Let's see what YouTube is. Keep it going. I know Anita. No, they won the 5 minute break. Okay, see, I need therapy. Therapy. What kind of therapy? I need therapy. Well, that's what part of this is for, and to get it started. So um, there are going to be all kinds of stuff that we're going to send out in the replay and all that good stuff, and get started. And looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. All right, so I'll shut up. All right, all right. Like we're in the conference. Come back to your seats. Everybody come back and reconvene. We'll network all in a minute. We'll network all in a minute. We'll network all in a minute. Ah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, hold on. I can't pause. I gotta restart the recording. Well, we're back, we're back, we're back. And thank you so much. I'm striving to be on time as much as possible. Hopefully everybody got a sip of something to drink and uh, did a potty break. But I am pleased and super excited to uh, turn the microphone over to turn the stage over to my good friend. All of you are my good friends, and get ready with your pens and papers ready. Miss Vanessa Collins. She's going to introduce herself and take it away. So you ready? Let's go. This train's getting ready to move to the next station. Vanessa, take it away.
I am. Well, Julia, thank you so much, Julia and Jenny and Monica. Oh my goodness, this has been wonderful. It has been amazing. We have talked about how to get, kind of deal with some of that mindset issues. And before you can look at how you're going to monetize your gift, you got to deal with the mindset stuff. If you're stuck in rejection and unforgiveness, you're not going to move forward. If you don't have the self confidence that you need, that Jenny talked about, you're not going to move forward. If you don't recognize that you are gifted and that you have gifts, like Julia talked about, you're not going to move forward. But now that we are ready to move forward, it's time to figure out how we're going to monetize this stuff. So let me share my screen and we are going to talk about your profit blueprint, your product line. And there's so many different parts to your profit blueprint. You have your product line. You got to deal with the technology. You got to deal with how you're going to implement. But before you can implement, before you can deal with technology, and that's one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of entrepreneurs make. They go and they invest in all these different technologies because they see something. Somebody told them that ClickFunnels was good. Someone told them to get Kajabi. Someone told them to get this. And so they're paying all this monthly stuff, but they don't have a product. They have not figured out what their product is going to be. So that is what we're going to talk about. So, why do you need a product line plan for your business? And again, all the websites, technology, social media in the world will not earn you a dime if you don't have a product or service to offer. Last time I checked, mortgage companies do not accept likes. They don't accept follows. They don't accept any of that for payment. Many entrepreneurs don't have enough products on their shelves to support their revenue goals. And you'll come up with a goal and say, "Hey, I want to make $50,000 this year from my business." My question for you is, do you have enough products on your shelf to be able to support that goal? And when I say products on your shelf, I'm not just talking about physical products. All of my products are virtual. So I'm talking about the virtual products that you have on yourself. And then a bad product is going to result in poor sales. So we don't want to do a bad product. We don't. But no product is going to result in no sales. And many of you guys have been sitting on your products because of the spirit of perfection. It has to be perfect before you launch. How many of you have ever bought a phone, ever have bought a computer, and if you have, I'm part of, Team iPhone. I love Apple, but the same thing happens with Samsung and Android and all of that. You get the brand new phone, and we already know it, right? 2 days later, there's going to be an update because There are some bugs that you will not find until you launch. And the big companies have learned that. We have learned that. We have come to understand it. And when there's a bug, we just want it to be fixed. And that's the same with your customers. If you launch something and it's not perfect, half of the times they're not even going to realize it's not perfect. The other part, as long as you fix it and have great customer service, they're going to be fine with it. So, who am I? I am Vanessa Collins. I'm an author, publisher, and a certified digital marketing specialist. And I help clients develop digital marketing strategies. And that could be authors, that could be entrepreneurs. I co own a couple of publishing companies and have helped a few authors publish their books. So, my question to you is, what are your workable revenue goals? So, I want you to type in the chat, what is your revenue goal for this year? For those of you that are entrepreneurs, for those of you that haven't stepped out into the entrepreneurial world yet, I want you to put a goal. If you were an entrepreneur, what would be your goal for the next 12 months? Now, that goal should reflect where you are in your business. If you are just starting, although I love having big goals, if you're just starting, a $1 million goal in 12 months may not necessarily be a workable goal. But it should also reflect the amount of work that you are willing to put in. Can you make $1 million in your first year? Absolutely. Can you do it putting in 2 hours a day? Probably not. And so it really has to reflect what type of investment you are prepared to make in your business. And that investment is not only money, but it is money. If you want to, you may see some of these funnels online where people are talking about, hey, we made $1 million in this online funnel. Well, I can tell you that they probably spent $100,000 in ads. And so that's a great, I mean, that's a great turnaround, right? If you give Mark $1, he gives you $10 back. That's wonderful. But you got to be willing to invest $100,000 in ads, probably invest $50,000 in a coach that can really show you how to do the ads. You got to be willing to invest the money that you need to have all of the digital assets in place, and so your workable revenue goal should reflect all of that. And it should be broken down into your annual goal, your quarterly goal, your monthly goal, and your weekly goal. How much money are you going to make in the next 7 days? And it should reflect the products and services that you plan to offer. All right, so let's talk about how do you get $50,000. Let's just use this as a number. So if you have one book, and that's all you have, is one book, that is $5,000 or 5,000 sales in a year. That's 1,250 sales in a quarter. That's 417 sales a month. You have to sell 96 books a week if you want to sell your $10 book and get to $50,000. Okay, that sounds like a lot of work. Now, on the other side of that, and kind of the other extreme side of that, is if you have one product, but it happens to be a $10,000 done for you solution, well, hey, you only need 5 sales a year. That's like 1.25 sales per quarter. Most people fall somewhere in the middle in terms of the products that they have in place. So, what are the revenue milestones for your business? And in my 4 years of, actually more like 5 years now, of coaching business entrepreneurs, these are the milestones that I have seen that are important in your business. So that first milestone is when you get to $250 a month in your business. This is money that you're making in your business, not money that you're taking out of your pocket. This is money you're making in your business. This is when you're getting your business out of your pocket. Your business is able to pay for its own expenses, such as your web hosting, your email marketing, your webinar platform. By the time you spend $15 over here for Get Response and $20 over here for iPlayer HD, have you guys done it? I mean, it's the nickel and diamond, but it's not nickel and dimes. It's, $20 here, $30 here, $40 here. That adds up. And typically, when you're first starting your business, if you're going to do it right, if you're going to have the right systems in place, you're probably going to spend about $250 a month in your business. And so, your first revenue goal is to get that business out of your pocket. Now, when you get to about $1,000 per month, and we're looking at about 12, that's about 1,200 a year, you feel a little freer to invest in additional programs and coaching. When you get to 2,000 a month in your business, you start feeling a little more freer. And a lot of times when people are bringing in consistently 2,000 in their business, that's when they start looking at one-on-one coaching and mentorship. When you get to about 4,000 in your business, you feel a little freer to develop a team, to start outsourcing some stuff, and maybe even investing in some higher level coaching programs. So, how do we get here? How do we hit some of these milestones? There are a ton of products and services that you can create. And I'm going to run through this fast. You'll have this handout. You have books. You can take that same information and put it in an ebook. You can take that same information and put it in an audio book. These first three, you don't even need to create any additional content. You just need to package it differently. You can take that book and develop webinars from it. Those webinars can be paid or free. You can take the same information from your book and develop your online courses. If you wrote your book properly, you should be able to take your book and every chapter could be a week in your online course. So if you have an 8 chapter book, that's a great 10-week course. There's a week for introduction, then your 8 chapters, and then a week for conclusion. If your book is bigger, let's say you got a 15 chapter book, you can still put it in a 10-week course. You may double up some of the chapters, or you may break it up into 2 courses. Digital content, your webinars and your online courses, all of that stuff can go in your online store. Once you have recorded it, your online store, this is passive income. When you were on a summit like this and you saw Julia do it earlier, somebody asked about how to start writing a book. Well, Julia has taught that many, many, many times. And so she has a book that's called Write Your Book Now. She has a class that is the same title. So you can go get the book, you can go get the class. She has all of that in her online store. Then you have your speaking and your seminars, similar to this. This is what Monica did today. She spoke from her book. Your live events. This is a live event, although we would love to be where we could hug you and all of that. Events online. You can have an event online based on your book. Certification programs. Don't worry about somebody copying your stuff. Certify them and license them and let them go ahead with it. If you want to make a 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, the Croc family don't have a problem with that. As long as you pay the franchise and fee and all of that stuff, you too can make your own Big Mac. And so certification programs is like franchising for your information. Membership programs, you can have a membership program based on your book. I have a membership program, Digital Mastery for Women, and it's based on the book that I wrote, Digital Mastery for Women. Coaching, your book is perfect as a foundation for your coaching program. And then there are implementation programs. Whatever it is that your message is about, people may need more help. Now, depending on what it is, if it's something that you can actually do for someone else, that's a type of implementation program. If it's a program where they need more in depth conversation, it could be a retreat, it could be a VIP day. Jenny could have a VIP day where she takes 5 women, and for the weekend, they dive deep on dealing with your self esteem. Monica can have a VIP program where she takes 5 women and they dive deep on getting over rejection and forgiveness and journaling about that. All of that are products and services that you could have. All right, so we're going to go to the big question here. What do I offer and what do I charge? That is probably one of the biggest questions that I hear. And in this handout, and again, you have this handout, I have a little starting guide for you. So if you're talking about a book, you can sell your book for $15. If you have an ebook, the goal should be to, get some emails from that ebook. Your ebook should always lead to your website. It should always have a free gift kind of embedded in there where you can use it for list building. Your online courses, develop a 10-week online course based on your book and charge $39 a week for it. Get 10 people in that class. Your digital content, take your recordings from your online class and sell it in your store. Coaching programs, those are usually a little higher because they include more of your time. So you may develop a 10-week coaching program that's $59 a week. A membership program, you could develop one of those for $25 a month. Your master classes, you could have a $25 class that dives deep into one of the areas that you talk about. This is the reason why I love having a book, because you could take every chapter of your book and develop a workshop or a master class. And then your one-on-one coaching programs. Uh, you could do that for $97 a month. All right, so you need to decide what your goal is for your business. Are you trying to bring in $250 a month? If you do, I have a guide here for you and what you need to do. You want to bring in $1,000 a month? There's a guide here for what you need to do. You want to bump it up to 2,000? Follow the guide. 4,000? Ramp it up. All right. So your assignment is to plan your product line based on your revenue goals. My name is Vanessa Collins. I am your certified digital marketing specialist. Turning it back over to you, Julia.
Woo! Oh, now you see why these 3 women are my friends. Do you see why I brought y'all today? Whoop! Talk about whoop! Your mind being renewed. Yeah, you definitely. So they already have said we need the replay. You're gonna get all the replay. You're gonna get the replay. You're gonna get all the handouts. You're gonna get my PowerPoint. You're gonna get Vanessa's PowerPoint. You're gonna get the links to Monica's book, to Monica's blog, Jenny's website. You're going to get all of that. Can you imagine? I don't understand all of that. And the registration was free. Karen says you made me cover 3 sheets of paper. Okay, so before we go, we have like 30, 35 minutes. Yay, free for free. Yes, yes, yes. So first off, um, Karen asked, what about our workable goals given the pandemic? So we're in a different place. Like me, I'm the queen of live events. And so now I'm not able to do those live events. But so what should my workable goal change or which is a great question. Or should I just keep plowing forward? And then her part two to that, do I have to, I know that there's a book that we read in Digital Mastery for Women, the 12-month year and 12-week year.
Mhm.
And so she said, do I have a half year template to start in July or do I just keep plowing from here? I mean, do I just March is a wash and April was so and so? Do I start, May 1st? Or should I let the pandemic stop me? Or should I do like we did here? Decide we can't do the live event, but we still have information to share. We still have some viable tools that we can utilize instead. We love to be in London, Harrods, the whole 9 yards, but we not. So what do you do? Van, we'll start with you.
All right. You keep moving. There is so much money being made right now during this pandemic.
Online. Yeah.
There's a lot of folks making a lot of money. So don't have the mindset that people don't have money. Some people have more money now than they had before the pandemic. And people will buy whatever it is that they see to be of value. And so your job is to make sure you know your audience and know how to get to your audience and make sure that you have an irresistible offer. If your offer is irresistible, people will find the money for it.
And right now, since we're in the digital space, I'm finding people who knew me all the time, but might have thought they were going to see me at an event. But now they're inboxing me. Now they're messaging me. Now they're in a totally different space. And I think people are looking more now in the digital space because they are at home. They're doing more surfing. They're doing that. There are people that are still going outside, but plow, right? Go. Did I say go? Any other questions? Okay, so this is the time. We probably have about 20, 25 minutes. I do have some giveaways that I do want to let you know. They're coming down the pike. I'll have Jenny and Monica and Vanessa give me some numbers because I did, I'm all about the door prizes and giving stuff. So one of the first things, and I advertised it, I am doing it for while you're getting your questions together. So I am doing for Mother's Day or just in time for Mother's Day. As soon as I can get Mr. Royston to the post office to mail out, whoever wants to purchase one. So I'm giving one of my Queen box sets away today. So it's you get the BK Royston bag. It's a nice big backpack, okay? And then what comes in? So I'm giving one today. And then you get the Queen book and the journal. And then you need to tell me what size you are. I got all the girls in so I have black with silver, the t-shirt. This is a 3X. So, and I go all the way up to 4X. So I have queen, black with silver, black with gold, or my white one. Or white with red. Okay, so I need my t-shirt to go. Okay, so I'm giving one of those away. So I'll get the number and we'll get the black with gold, man. The white is a V. All of them are V-necks. I like V-necks. So that's what I'm giving away. So I'm giving away. It's going to be 1 to 39. I'm giving that set away. Everybody's going to get the ebook of. I did a journal. You know me. I'm going to do a journal too. So Plan B. Everybody gets this. I'm giving away the Queen box set. And then everybody else gets the handouts. And no, everybody's not getting the thing. I just want you to know what the options are if you are the winner. Okay. So I'm gonna go through my get response. They're gonna pick a number. I'm gonna pick the person that's that number on the list. And then Erica will get one because she was the first one to log in. So I'll give one to Erica because she was the first one to log in. And then I'll give away another one. Woohoo! Yay! See, it pays to jump in first. She was texting me. Okay. So what was the other question? Oh, Karen says, Miss Vanessa, have you been in the finance line of work? If not, what made you shift?
Well, I actually am not in the finance line of work. I actually started after my chemical engineering days and ministry days. I am actually a publisher, but realized that there was so much happening in this digital world that I needed to learn about. And so I started going into digital marketing just to figure out how to best promote my publishing business. And as I got into that and realized that as an entrepreneur, you are a finance person. Because if you don't understand the finances of your business, you're not going to make anything. Because what you focus on is what's going to expand. And so, as an entrepreneur, you got to know your numbers. You have to know what's your goal, where you at, what are you making, how much are you spending. So I'm really am not a finance person. I'm just an entrepreneur.
She knows her numbers, believe you me. She definitely knows her numbers. And but the other thing too is that having that goal, and Vanessa and I go back and forth about the numbers. I'm always doing the numbers, kicking and screaming, because my job is always I'm just doing the work. Whatever happens, happens. But I think in this time we need to be more strategic. Strategic positioning is kind of been and it's amazing not being able to do live events. Well, God said that for January and he won't let it go. So strategic positioning is not necessarily about a physical place as it is sometimes it is a mental place and an operational and a place that you're moving operationally. So one thing I want you all to do is think about it. You may have to consider, one, am I being stopped by something, a mindset, mental issue that's stopping me? Two, do I need to be in a coaching plan? Do I need to be, am I in a place financially to be there? Or do I need to just continue to follow these people until I do get the finances to be able to participate? Or four, do I need to complete the products that she mentioned and that I've mentioned too as well over and over again? Do we need to, and Monica mentioned about her book and Jenny has a book. I mean, do you need to finish that book that God has placed in your heart? You need to write it because that can be the launching pad and the platform to take you to the next thing, to the membership group, to the nonprofit, to the mentorship, to the coaching. It's all there. And I have said those things, and Jenny's done those things, and Monica's doing those things, speaking, and people kind of roll their eyes. But I don't know. In this season right here, we need to be able to have those other options because jobs look different right through here. Everything looks different right through here. But know this, you have something to say. You have something that you've endured. You have an expertise to bring to the table. You have people who need what you have, especially the therapists, especially the counselors. Oh my Lord, people are
Oh
just
my goodness, think about if you had a product right now for homeschool, for
oh yeah,
homeschool,
oh I'm there. I'm all over that.
you
I'm
would
all
sell
over
it
that.
all over the place. Parents are going crazy.
Yeah, they're going
Trying
nuts.
to deal,
They're going
especially
nuts.
the
Miss Cheryl Hill, did you hear that? Miss Cheryl Hill, she's still on here. Are you still on here? Because we've been talking about that in Book Business Bosses. She has a whole resource kit on helping adults, their parents with children, learn how to read with the little ones. It's all set and all ready to go.
where is it at? What's the link?
If there's a book you want to read, but no, Miss Cheryl Hill, put your link in the thing.
What's
Go
the
get your
link
look
to
on
find the
KDP.
resource?
Go Amazon and put that in the chat, please. I told I don't know how many times I got to keep telling her. I said, put the link there so people can know how to get there. So
Absolutely.
wait a minute. So Karen has a question for Monica and Jenny. Do you all speak to youth groups, especially girls who may be enduring what you have been through?
Yeah. In the past I was doing that. I was speaking to a lot of the young
But
people.
if you ask again to go on a live similar to this, you say yes. Just nod your head, Monica. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Jenny. Yes.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yes.
But
and we'll figure out the logistics later. Yes.
I do. But
Because
before
Karen
the
is a
lockdown,
twin, and Karen is a twin. And so Karen has well, if you don't know them, you would think they were identical because she has an identical twin, Kathy, who has a youth group. So I know that would be a perfect thing.
Yeah.
Because they can jump on here and do the exact same thing with you two ladies for their youth group because they do have a young girls group. Patricia says confirmation to finish my first book before hosting my next conference. Please do that.
Absolutely.
Please do
Leaving
that.
money on the table.
Please do that.
Anytime you go to speak and you do not have your book in hand, you are leaving money on the table. I just want you to think about just wave bye-bye to the money. And think of the commercial where they
And it's really
you know,
hard to get
tear the
that
money
thing.
up.
Yeah. It's hard to get that thing back together because you think, well, next time, but you missed it right here. This is the now is the time. This is the opportune time. Now is the time. And we were on a webinar last night with Vanessa about technology. And as much as we struggle through it and oh my gosh, and all we got to do, but once you get it down, it's beautiful to send people to links. It's beautiful to send people to a link that works and they able to purchase and your PayPal dings. It really does. So whatever you got to do, and we've had all kinds of technology issues. I was on Gumroad last night and try back later. Their servers have gotten over. I mean, so we're all, even the major companies have had issues. I was going to tell Vanessa that. I was like, okay, Gumroad had an issue last night, but everybody is fighting through this next inundation of in the digital space. So other questions, you gotta pick our brain. Come on, we might put you in the link and get you for an appointment later, but questions.
Oh, you got a question in the Q&A section.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed. What's the best way to go about developing a virtual bookstore for others to review and shop at?
Well, the best way to develop a virtual bookstore is just to do it. I mean, there are many platforms you can do it on. You can do it on your own website. You can do it on a third party. You just have to get out there and do it. Most of the sites, Gumroad, there's Sellify. I mean,
There's Shopify, there's Think of It, I use Think of It for my courses, but I'm looking at Shopify for t-shirts and physical. I mean, I'm looking at all of them. Gumroad, but they had an issue last night, but we'll be back on. So
yep.
So that is what it is. Okay.
And then the other thing is just running traffic to it. And that's where, as an entrepreneur, you don't necessarily think about, oh, I got to become a numbers person, but you do. You don't think about, oh, I got to become a digital marketer, but you do. Yeah. So you got to learn how to run traffic. Then whether that is social media, paid ads, all of those things, you have to run traffic to whatever your store is. Just like if it was a brick and mortar store, you got to get traffic to it.
Oh, the one I use? Okay. It's like anything else. I tell people all the time, it's ongoing. I mean, it's a constant thing. And sometimes you have to be in spaces such as this to get you in the habit of promotion. Okay, and Cheryl Hill just put in the chat her book on helping children read, and um, feel free to copy that. Okay, so Ms. Tillman says technology is important. I'm not an expert, just proficient enough to make do. What programs or apps? On what part are you wanting? Well, Digital Mastery for Women, bookbusinessbosses.com for technology, but for the beginner to get on board. What do you mean? Social media, websites? That's a loaded question, Ms. Tillman.
Yeah, it depends on what your goals are, who your audience is, uh, what your plan is. And so you really need to, talk with someone, and that could be Julia, that could be me, that can help you kind of go through your plan and then recommend something for you. That's a big mistake that many entrepreneurs make is they hear an app like, "Oh, oh, she uses Think of It. Okay, let me go sign up for that."
Right,
Well, before you go sign up for it, you really need to kind of lay your plan out.
right,
And what is it that you're going to do? When are you going to have these classes?
right.
Don't start paying for Think of It now, and you're not going to post your first class to September.
Or you don't have your first book written,
Or you
or
don't
you
have your
don't
first
have you haven't finished that. So let's do that and just hold on to Think of It until you get there, because it's
right.
it's ready for you to upload something. But if you don't have anything to upload, that's not going to help you. Karen, the replay, the handouts that Vanessa has will help you get started as a template for your monthly revenue goals. So you can pick those things that she's outlined to say, how many books do I want to sell? Because I know you sell a lot of books and ship all the time. But then after that, we've already talked about this: courses, classes, coaching, mentorship. Look at that. Look at her handouts, and you'll know exactly which step to go to next. Questions. I need a number from Jenny. I need a number from Monica, and I need a number from Vanessa, so that I can get my queen boxes out. If you would like a T-shirt from me and you do not win a gift box, feel free to go talk. You can either PayPal.me Julia Royston, or you can go to Cash App Julia Royston. The T-shirts are $15. So you let me know. Does Monica have a website or a link? Yes, she does.
Yes.
I will send that in the replay. Any other questions?
Number
Questions,
23.
Number 23. Okay, 23. We're going 1 through 39. 1 through 39. Van had 23.
18.
18, Jenny. What you got, Monica?
24.
24. All right. Okay. Questions. I know y'all sitting on pins and needles trying to figure out who won. So let me go ahead and do this.
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 18 is Anita Daly. Yay! She's in the YouTube room. Okay, and 23 is Gwen Kelly. And 24 is Jackie Kelly. All right. Yay! Are they in the I know Anita Daly's in the YouTube room. Congratulations, Anita Daly. Are you still there? Are you still there? Yay. And then Gwen Kelly and
I
Jackie
think Glenn
Kelly.
is in there. I think that's
Oh
GJ.
yeah, there's you're welcome, you're welcome. You're welcome, you're welcome. Okay, will another London conference be in the works for 2021? I would love to meet all of you wonderful ladies. Y'all, yeah, I'm right there. So, while we're here, while we're still here, what month? What month y'all willing to go? May, June?
We're gonna have to discuss that, Julia.
I know, but May, June, what y'all think? Because I want to know when they willing to come, put the money down to go. Fall, spring,
Well, I would have to do
summer.
June because next year I have a senior coming out. So
Yeah, May's a bad month. So
and all of that.
June, would you go in June?
Yeah.
June. Come on, Jenny, you ain't getting out of it. Hold on just a second. June. You be out of school in June?
Yeah, because our school system ends in July, the middle of July. So June, I'm in school.
Okay. June, July. Well, and then, but no, he'll be going to college then, so we don't have to worry about him going back to high school. Hold on, and band camp in July and all that. Yeah. Oh, okay. So we might be able to do July. Come on, through. June, July. Is that good?
July will be good.
I don't know. We might be. I don't know. That might be kind of good. All right. So we'll
They
do
do August.
July. I'll say yay, nay, yay.
Yes. Late July, August.
Yeah, August. August to September.
No.
I'll be back in school in September.
Yeah.
I'll be back in school in September.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It has to be
Break.
late July or August.
Okay. July, August.
Is this for this year?
No.
Next year.
Next year.
Oh.
Lord, no, we can't do this year. We can't. I mean, all my events all the way through is already done. Okay. Any other questions before we go? Oh my gosh, we got 4 or 5 minutes. Questions? Did you enjoy it? Please put in the chat. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Please do it again. I can tell y'all getting ready to want to go over to London. So we back with London. Yay!
Julia.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say that this was really, really awesome. And it's a great prerequisite to what's going to happen next year, because people have already got a flavor of what it's going to be like and who we are, especially Monica and I. So they've got a flavor of who we are, you know, our stories and everything. So this is a fantastic launching pad to next year. And maybe we should do this again.
Yes, let's do it again in the fall. And when everybody's, you know, we got to, but see, now I have a way to contact you. So I need for you to check your emails and all that good stuff, because when we're going to launch again, I'm super duper excited about that. And, you know, and think it's going to be an awesome thing. Now you got my head spinning on what we're going to do. Do it once a quarter, Karen. No, you're doing too much. You doing too much. You know, just got to love my girl. Virginia, go on. Once a quarter, we said the fall, honey bunches. We'll be back in the fall. I'm so glad. Hey, so glad. So glad you were inspired and motivated, and
it was wonderful.
So follow us on social media and all that good stuff. Look for the handouts and the replay tomorrow, Sunday. Give me till Monday, and everything will be up and ready to go. But you know, y'all can find them on social media already. Y'all can go ahead and start liking their pages and go and find out from them. Thank you. I am so glad. I'm so glad you enjoyed. All right, all minds clear. It's been a great 2 hours and been a fantastic time. I love my sisters, and so it's been an awesome opportunity. I took pictures, so I can't wait to post and all that good stuff. I don't know, we can't do selfies, but you know, I take pictures of the all 4 things. So you know, so we'll be able to have that and share and all that good stuff. So I love you all.
Thank you.
Sounds great. Yeah, Nita Daly. I'm so glad. Yay. Okay, now when I reach out to email y'all gotta tell me what your sizes are. and what colors you want. The queen box, I got inventory. See, I got inventory from when I was supposed to be going to events. So these Mother's Day boxes may turn out to Women's Month boxes, may turn into Father's Day, because I got inventory. My husband's like, when you gonna get these books out of here? I got boxes, I got bags. Oh, I'm so glad you did stick with me these last 4 years. Van stuck with me the last 10. Yay!
Did you see Facebook? This is our 10th year anniversary.
This is our 10 year.
What? No, this is our event anniversary.
Event anniversary? No,
yeah, I'm making up the word.
You know.
Event anniversary. But Facebook posted a picture from 2010, the first event that we were a part of together.
Yes, that we did at U of L, the writers workshop. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you stuck with me too. We've had a wonderful time. We got more to do. As soon as my Van's like, I don't know if I can go to London. I said, yeah, you going. You just going. I don't know when you're gonna go, but yeah, you're going. But 2021, we got to get little David out of high school though. So we got to be home for little David to go out of high school, but we're gonna be there. So I love you all. Thank you. Prayers and blessings, safety, peace to you all. Reach out to us. We will send the replay and all the links and all that good stuff. I'll be emailing by Monday too as well, sizes and addresses, so I can mail everything out on Tuesday. So super excited about everything going on. Blessings to you, Monica. Blessings to you, Jenny and Vanessa. Love everybody. You all have an excellent rest of the day. Peace and safety. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.